asked me what the NEAT Act was about, and this is what it's about. It's about ending poverty overnight. It's about, it takes about three steps that have to be done to take the power to create money from the bankers who we never elect and give it to ourselves, give it to our elected representatives by us, and take the power of the bankers to control them away from us and give it to us. Give the power to control them to us, who should be able to do this. Um, I'm trying to see if I'm broadcasting. I'm wondering if I'm broadcasting on all my platforms, which is uh, YouTube, Twitter, and and the various uh, groups that I have, Facebook groups that I have helped form. And um, here's the NEAT Act. It's three parts, and the whole basis of it is whoever controls the power to create money controls the culture. It creates the culture. And we know that our culture is violent, murderous, bigoted, hypocritical to, to everything that's bad. We know that our culture is that right now. Yeah, it gives us high income. It'll give us income to keep us quiet. Well, no, it doesn't give income to everyone. The NEAT Act will do that. It'll give income to everyone. So it has three steps that have to be made. The first one is to end uh, fractional reserve banking, which is the power of the bankers to create money. It ends that overnight. Then it nationalizes the Federal Reserve and puts it in the Treasury. So the executive has control. It makes it part of government. The Federal Reserve is not part of government now. If you think it is, then tell me what part of government it is. Well, you can't because it's not. It's the Federal Reserve is owned by the member banks, and J.P. Morgan Chase owns almost 50% of the stock in the Federal Reserve. One banker can pretty much decide all the policies of the Federal Reserve, and that would be J.P. or Jamie Dimon, Chairman and Chief Executive of J.P. Morgan Chase. Have you ever voted for him for anything? No. Okay. So then, after we nationalize the Federal Reserve and we end the power of bankers to create money, that doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to make loans. They're going to be able to make loans, but they're going to have the money to make the loans. And if they don't have the money in their reserves, they can come to the government, and the government will decide if it will loan the money to them if it's something that we want to do. So uh, we're going to have total control of who gets money and how much. Now, then the last thing that the NEAT Act does is it spends money into the economy for the things we want. And like the infrastructure program that Biden wants now, we can pay for that without taxing anyone or without borrowing money off of anyone. Uh, our interest on the national debt is second only to our spending on the military. Okay? That's how big it is. $500 billion a year right now. And that's with record low interest rates. What if the interest rate was 2% instead of a quarter of a percent? What would that do to that $500 billion? How would that blow it up? It'd blow it up like hell. So they can't let interest rates go up. If they do, they're in, the government is in critical shape. We're going to have to be borrowing more money to pay for more money to borrow to more money all the time. So let's see. I don't think I need my headphones on. I'm sitting here with my headphones on, and now I'm sitting outside now. I'm sitting on my patio. Uh, I don't. I'm wondering if you can see our backyard. And yeah, you can. There's a little fire pit back there. We've got a place to sit and enjoy. And it looks like spring is here, and I'm going to have to be mowing the yard pretty quick. And now I have a 26-year-old living with me. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get him to mow the yard. It'd be interesting. Samuel's a wonderful guy, and he's a blessing to me. He's he has he's taught me what I missed from 79 years, and he's got what he needs, and I've got what I need. And he's lived with me since November the 2nd, or that's when we met, when November 2nd, right here on my patio, because my patio is close to the sidewalk. And I just came in that evening, and it was a cold evening, from exercising in a park here in Norman. And in fact, I've got the video where he showed up in the video, and on the sidewalk, walking up to me, and I turned around from securing my bicycle, and there he was, and he wanted $2. So I gave him $2, sent him off. Of course, his $2 is if he can get another $2 and then from somebody else, and another $2 from somebody else, you can get a bottle of rum. And so that's how he brings a little bit of joy into our life. He comes home with a little bottle of rum or 3 cans of beer or something like that, and I provide the food and the shelter, and I provide the food by going to the food and shelter in Norman. We have a really good soup kitchen pantry for us poor and homeless and near homeless. It's a great facility that we have. So that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm gonna have to start mowing the yard pretty quick. The weeds are coming up. I planted a lot of fescue back there. It's so shady, and planted that uh, in the fall, and it's worked. It's coming up. I've kept it pretty wet, so the roots will be going down, and hopefully if I can keep it wet enough this summer, the fescue will take hold, and I'll do the same thing again in November. I've got a big sack of seed waiting to be sown. So this is a place where I've been able to ameliorate the effects of the COVID-19 of being isolated. I can sit out here outside, and pretty soon somebody will spot me and they'll come up and visit. And so this patio is doing its job, and the patio actually has a Decker Foundry manhole cover, which is my last name's really Decker. And let's just see if we can see it. know whether I'm seeing anything. Well, it's right down there. I don't know. I can't see what the camera's seeing, but it says Decker Foundry, Henrietta, Oklahoma. And I got this manhole cover out of the alley right behind me when the contractor was paving it and putting in new manhole covers. So I said, hey, I made that in Henrietta. How about let me have it? And so he did. And, in fact, in my backyard is another one, and it's really clean and good, and it's going to go to the museum in Henrietta, Oklahoma, so that the families of the men that worked there at the foundry, which the last day I was there was 125 of them working on 3 shifts, 2 production shifts and 1 maintenance shift. Uh, the place was uh, lit up like it was really lit, noisy, going to town. The last day, the banker kicked me out. Banker trade was a trader. That's what we do in the South. Um, we don't shoot people in the face; we shoot them in the back. Uh, and Oklahoma has got that part of being South. It's shooting. I found that out depositions taken whenever the witness for the Small Business Administration gave his testimony, and it hit me so fucking hard. I had no idea that this banker man was working opposite of what he was telling me. Opposite. It just devastated. A big oak table in the courtroom, almost collapsed. And when I found out how he had stabbed me in the back, and I'm ready to stab them now, but I'm gonna stab them right in the face, and it's gonna be the NEAT Act. We got to occupy the NEAT Act to take the power of bankers, their power, which is whoever has the controls the culture, and that's what has made our culture so murderous and it is poor. Even Franklin, okay, I mean, nobody, the colonies, banks in the colonies. The English wanted us to adopt the Bank of England, and we told them, fuck no. So, and then we fought a war, and we won the war with money we created without banks, the Continentals. That's what we won the war with. And, and that was government created money. Government created money. The government can be good, okay, if it's not controlled by the bankers. And when we have the NEAT Act, it won't be controlled by the bankers. It'll be controlled by us. And it's going to take us a while to get over being the Victorian Puritans that we are, the murderous Victorian Puritans that we are. It's going to take us a while to get over that and realize we can have fun, like in Marymount. That was their first Civil War when the Puritans of Salem went over to Marymount, knocked down their maypole, run the Indians back into the woods, captured the leaders of the community that was prosperous, sent them to England. Uh, that was our first Civil War. We lost it, and that's when we became a murderous, evil people. And the American people are evil right now. We're acting evil. We got to get over it, and there's a way to get over it, and it's called the NEAT Act. Okay, well, I have explained a little bit of the NEAT Act. I hope you're interested in it. You can go to a website It's part of the Green, but created before the Green Party, the group that created this website. It's called Greens for Monetary Reform.org. Greens for Monetary Reform.org. The Greens for Monetary Reform is all one word. There are no periods, no anything in it. Greens for Monetary Reform.org. And you can begin to learn how money's created, how the way it's being created now is affecting us, and how we can change the way it's created and to actually what it, it told us in the Constitution was our power. Hamilton and George Washington delegated the power that we had and gave it to their friends who became our first bankers. And Washington became the richest man in the country. These guys fought a war, okay? We fought a whole fucking war, died, spent lives and money and everything in the Revolutionary War, and then gave it all away. Uh, Benjamin Franklin came up before the war. They said, "Well, how do you pay for your poorhouses?" And he said, "Why would we need poorhouses when we have no poor?" Yeah, the colonies had full employment and no poverty, and we gave all that shit away. We gave that success away to the Victorian Puritans who used the bankers to control us. They control Congress. All they got to do is tell Congressman, you do what I say, and we will make sure you never run out of money. Okay? That's what they can do. I got that on it. Will you do what we tell you to do, and we'll make sure you never run out of money. And I hung up on the bastard who told me that. Nobody was going to control me like that. I had fought too hard to get where I was. Now they took it all away from me. But you know what? I learned that I could survive on the bottom by using the same skill that I did to create my iron foundry. Just pay fucking attention, live within your budget, do what you have to do, and you can survive. And that's what I've done. And thank goodness for my landlord that lets me live here. We hadn't raised my rent in decades. Yeah. So, and if he should raise my rent, guess what I'll do? I'll go to public housing. It's not going to be as pleasant a life for me in public housing because right here I have no controls over who lives with me. What we do inside my apartment, there's nothing on that. And so I won't like that part of it, but I like being able to live within my budget because my rent wouldn't be probably any more than it is now, maybe $100 a month more. And then uh, if I should get high medical bills, because I'm 79 years old, medical bills are going to come. You arrange a payment plan, and they deduct that from your rent. Yeah, so I can do that. So anyway, there's a way to survive everything, all the threats that they can give you, these bastards. And now I have a phone, and I can talk to you, and you can see me, and I just explained the need act to you. And go to that website, Greens for Monetary Reform.org. No dots or dashes in Greens for Monetary Reform. Okay, Greens for Monetary Reform.org. It's a website that I helped create in the beginning and has been taken over by the Green Party. I'm not a member of the Green Party, but I'm an observer to the committee. I'm on every meeting. We have a meeting every Thursday night, a Zoom meeting, and I'm there. So, and if you'd like to be a part of that Zoom meeting, you can find links to it and to join and on our website. And so, and you're very welcome. You tell them who you are, what you want to do, and they will let you be on the committee, and you can participate. Okay. See you soon. This is William in Norman, Oklahoma.